Hey Crown Content Publications followers, viewers, and supporters. Thank you for clicking on my video to see what it is. Again, I have to say to you guys today, if you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe so you can hear more writing tips, facts, and just business updates when it comes to the Crown Publishing Content family and how we are helping authors and entrepreneurs in the year of 2022 and moving forward. Learn more about our services and our mission to assist authors and freelancers when you visit my website, www.contentcrownpublications.com. In the comments and description section, you can also locate the link to be able to book and reserve a slot. A slot for what, you ask? Well, see, our Crown Content Publications podcast show has been interviewing authors and entrepreneurs because our mission is to simply build the power or rebuild the power of business networking in our community in the new millennium and during the after effects of a pandemic. So the businesses are already flourishing. They're already established, but sometimes it takes you listening to a podcast show like ours, where publishing and marketing meet, to find out what small businesses have to offer in the first place that may be able to help you along your journey. Whether you're a freelancer, or independent contractor, or just a common individual at all. There are some business owners out here really pushing, man. Really doing some big things that are truly contributing to their communities and to the society, especially during such vulnerable and unpredictable times, okay? It's the least we can do as publishers and writers at the Crown Publishing Content family. Alright, so if you've seen the title of this video, today I'm going to be talking about writing tips. Pretty much this is like a tutoring segment for, whether you're an established writer, segments like these are always good to tune into because we're going to talk about things like sentence structure today. Sorry guys, it's like a tongue-tying phrase right there. The two S's kind of mixed me up. And we're also just going to kind of talk writing tips, okay? Because when it comes to the world of writing, guys, you got so many different, number one, formulas. What is a formula? Just like when you are trying to figure out a math equation or some type of chemistry or science equation, or just any type of problem-solving equation at all, there's usually some type of formula that helps you to come up with the best answer possible. And a lot of people still don't know today, writing is not as easy as it looks, especially if you're a self-published author, okay? Why? It's the business of self-publishing in itself, and then it's, trying to make sure you have the tools, the resources, the knowledge to make sure things like your sentence structure or your storyline come together. Selling a book and all of that comes later. But when it comes to writing that story, are you prepared? So I thought I would get on here and share a few tips today. Hey guys, before I go into this, I think it's a great time to re-announce. I will be announcing both the Summer Reading Program Challenge that I have founded and started for children, K through 12 students this summer, and also the writing contest. So the reading program is just a reading challenge, okay? And if your child participates, K through 12 students participate, they will be entered into our drawing August 10th, 3 p.m. Mountain Time, right here on the YouTube channel. I will be selecting a winner from the students that did participate. Everybody's going to receive a participation award, so don't worry about that, parents. But we will only have one main winner from our drawing who did participate in the Summer Reading Challenge with the Crown Publishing Content Foundation, and they will have the chance to win a $100 Visa gift card right in time for back to school this year. Yay! As far as our writing contest now, this is only reserved for 5th through 12th grade students. How does this work? The link will also be for registration, guys. The only thing you have to register for, parents, is the Summer Reading Challenge. So that's that link you're going to find to kind of register, and then expect an email from me within 24 hours with more details, information, and the reading log. I'm going to forward you, parents, a reading log, and it's going to be important that you either request one weekly or make copies of the one I'm going to send, because your child will be required starting June 7th, 2022 to submit weekly reading logs, and this is how I'll know that they did participate all summer. It's going to include things like the author name, a summary of the book they read that week, and how many minutes a day they read. Once again, if you do register your child, they do participate, you do submit the reading logs every week all summer, I am going to be right here on the Crown Publishing Content YouTube channel with my drawing August 10, 2022, selecting one lucky student to win a $100 Visa gift card. What K through 12 student wouldn't want to not only win a $100 gift card, but be able to spend it on whatever they like? I mean, I just say that it's right in time for back to school, because it is. So hopefully you make them spend it on school supplies or something useful that can help towards the path and journey of their education, okay? But the writing contest is for 5th through 12 students only, and it does have to be a minimum of 2,000 words. The writing theme topic this year, this summer, is going to be if I could change the world, and any of us could write about that. But this is reserved for 5th through 12th grade students. I've been sharing flyers on the Crown Publishing Content Facebook page, TikTok, and Instagram. If you want to follow me on TikTok, it's IG at CrownContent24. Yeah, that's TikTok. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm getting mixed up. TikTok is CrownContent24, okay? IG is CrownContent2021. Our Facebook name is simply Crown Publishing Content, okay? But this is where we've been posting a lot of flyers. If you don't want to go follow me on social media, that's fine too. You can visit my website, www.contentcrownpublications.com. It's already posted and updated about how the writing contest is going to work. Now, with the writing contest, we're going to have 3 lucky winners: 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place, okay? Ranging from ages 5th through 12th grade. All they have to do is write a 2,000-word essay about how they would change the world if they could. We're going to have a 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place winner. The same day I do the drawing, right here on the channel, August 10th, 2022 at 3 p.m. Mountain Time, will be the same day I announce right here on the channel who our winners for the writing contest will be. So those writing contest essays will be due by August 8th, 2022. That gives us, the judges, 48 hours to select a winner. And that's why I kept, minimum 2,000 words is all we're asking for. If we see that your child wrote more than 2,000 words, hey, that may boost up their chances of winning, because we look at that type of stuff. 3rd place winner will receive a free Crown Publishing Content t-shirt, no matter what size they are. We will have the sizes available. 1st place winner prize will be a $100 Visa gift card of the writing contest. 2nd place winner will be a $50 gift card for the writing contest, Visa gift card. 3rd place winner, like I said, a Crown Publishing Content t-shirt. All of these guys will win certificates. I really think it's important that, when contests host, when people host contests, I feel like there should always be a participation prize, because I remember my youth and how many poetry contests I competed in. A lot of things I was very active in. I probably only received participation awards for them, but those participation awards go a long way when your child is one day filling out a resume or trying to kind of tell an employer how much experience they have with something, or, who they are down to the nitty gritty. They'll have proof. They'll have those participation certificates, or they'll have registration proof that they did compete or that they did participate in certain activities, parents. So I don't know, and for you guys that are hosting contests and stuff like that, especially if it's educationally related, all I'm saying is podcast show host Arthur Tedasheri does kind of think, my opinion is that you should always have some type of participation award. Not on a selfish level, how it helps you. It's how it's helping your participants. They may want to come back and compete because they felt that was thoughtful. You still contributed something But I just want to tell parents, anytime anytime your children or students participate in our programs, challenges, and competitions when it comes to reading and writing, we will always have participation awards for everybody that at least participates. Isn't that great? Yay! I had to take my glasses off for a second because they keep sliding off. Alright, so boom, let's dive in, guys. First, since I got that updated information about the writing and reading challenges and contests we're going to have for students in 2022 this summer, once again, to find more information, visit my website. I'm going to leave it in the comments section and description section. Also, I'm going to leave the link to register your child if you are interested in seeing them compete in our summer reading challenge, okay? Boom, I gave that information out, so let's dive in about what this video is really about today, okay? Number one, I want to talk a little bit about sentence structure. I know there are many different formulas when it comes to sentence structure, but I'm only going to cover 6 today, guys, okay? 6. But I feel like I chose 6 like very powerful and essential sentence structure formulas because these 6 structures I'm about to go over can be used in just about any form of writing that you are doing, if that makes sense, okay? So you all know what a sentence is already, right? Usually the average sentence is going to include a noun, maybe a verb, like an average complete sentence. I walked to the store. We're about to talk about that because one sentence structure, like number 1 is independent clause. It's just a group of words that includes a subject and a predicate. The example I want to give when it comes to independent clause is like this. I ate a cookie. Simple sentence, simple straight to the point sentence, right? Independent clause is the more technical or educational word for that type of sentence. But as writers out there, guys, and even if you kind of have your kids go back and look over this, or your college students or teachers if you're a class, and writers in general, I feel like a segment like this could be very essential and useful in the long term. There may be times I even go back and replay my own video, just being an author myself, because one of the main things I want to point out, writers and authors out there, okay? We're living in a time where we really have to watch every dime and penny we spend, even in business. Even if we're business owners, we have to be tight with, what we're wasting, what we're saving. I'm sure McDonald's, a company and corporation as big as McDonald's, is doing the same thing. They are not wasting packets of ketchup right now because gas is $5 in some places. You see where I'm coming from? What does that have to do with writing? Well, my point is, as self-published authors, for sure, you have to really strategize and plan your resources and your finances when it comes to the stage, because writing your manuscript or your film script or your stage play script, that is the easy part. It's going to be that editing, that line editing and formatting and stuff like that. Well, more so for book authors with the formatting. It's going to be stuff like that you have to invest in, right? So really what I'm trying to say is the more you learn, you can totally, like, this is something people are really doing already. Find yourself writing that script or writing that manuscript and turning around and being the same editor for your own script. How is that even possible? Well, you learn the art of editing. You learn more formulas when it comes to sentence structures and paragraphing and formatting. The more you learn on your own, I know people take it personal out there. I'm not going to name any names. Just know, guys, it hasn't been easy remaining the publishing services coordinator of my own small business, Crown Publishing Content. People rather look at the fact that, women are becoming too independent. I've already covered my segments on that. But it's like, we live in a time where it's actually more beneficial. It's actually more beneficial for you to know more things to help yourself in case you're ever in a scenario or circumstance or situation where you are ultimately all you have. And that goes for in business or your personal life. Even being a homeschool mom right now, guys, like when I tell y'all I preach independence over and over and over again to my own students, to my own children, because I never know when I'm not going to be here. I want you to know how to think for yourself. I want you to, know where to gain a source of strength or mental strength when it comes to grit and pushing through hard times and circumstances that we all unfortunately sometimes go through in life. But I feel like that's very important. Learning a sense of independence for your life. It has nothing to do with being a woman to me. If I was a young man, I would still find it very important to have a independence about myself. So I'm talking like this on a personal level, but I also want you guys out there who are tuning into my video today to know that independence is going to be just as important in business and also as an author. Actually, the more self-sufficient you can become with the skill of writing, with the skill of editing, with the skill of graphic design, with the skill of formatting, with the skill of being able to, locate and find or gain the type of connections you need when it comes to printing and distribution, when it comes to gaining the resources that you're going to need when it comes to consignment packages and calling bookstores to see, where your book is even going to be marketed. The more you learn, all I'm saying, when it comes to the business of authoring on your own, for your own, because look at me, I've made a whole business out of it. And that doesn't mean like, y'all, I'm the most intelligent book lady in the world. I like to think so. But I have goals in this world, guys. Crown Publishing Content hopes to be our own independent publishing company one day. In the meantime, we offer, for those of you new to my channel, we do offer publication services to those who are looking to self-publish their book, independently push their own book. From the marketing to the promotion, to maybe working with Crown Publishing Content, getting their book in our upcoming and pending online bookstore. We want to have these type of resources available because when it comes to being an author, I pretty much, my whole journey personally was learning, level. You know what I mean? What is that word, y'all, that people fear going through? Failure after failure after failure, right? And to the point where the little self-published books I do have out there right now, which if anybody's interested, you can check me out on Amazon Kindle, Arthur Tedasheri Whitney. The spelling of my name is usually in the banner section of this very YouTube channel. So, but my point is, what the world doesn't know, that's not even my best, like the books that are on there are not my best work. No, the best work is pending. Or just sitting somewhere in a file saved, waiting to be edited, waiting to be formatting, or waiting for a book cover, whatever it is. But I give that more as an inspirational fact to you guys, for you writers out there, right? Some of us are just growing writers, and as a writer, you should constantly be doing that. As Stephen King, I'm sure he would tell us the same thing, or these more experienced authors out here, okay? Writing is a growth, especially if you want to make a career out of it, okay? Sorry that I begin to preach again, guys. Let's get back on topic here. We were talking sentence structure. It's important to know that there are many forms of writing and writers in the world. And some of us are so gifted, we don't just write novels, we write poetry. We're very skilled when it comes to essay formats and essay styles of writing. What are some of those? That's going to be APA style, MLA style, Chicago style, Harvard style. There are so many different types of essay forms of writing, it's ridiculous. Business memos and things like this. A whole professional bio summary for your resume possibly, or your professional portfolio. I just want to put it out there for those that might be new to my channel. This is the type of work and services that Crown Publishing Content does offer. This segment today is more for writers, right? But, even because it's not that everybody doesn't have the skill to write. We're all fighting for time today too. We've made a whole business of services to assist you with those type of things, okay? You need a script writer for your YouTube channel, we're here. Once again, When you visit my website, the business phone number, my office hours, all of that type of stuff is going to be located there, just to kind of cut to the chase. And then for those interested, I do also have a LinkedIn profile. You can go and check my whole personal professional bio summary or whatever on platforms like LinkedIn. My other social media platforms, guys, are more reserved for business, like where I share information about Crown Publishing Content, from the podcast show to our upcoming online bookstore and nonprofit organization. So yes, that's why I gave out the Instagram and TikTok at the beginning of this segment. I hope that I'm not over talking. I just wanted to make it the point clear, y'all, that the more you learn as a writer, the more self-sufficient you can become. And I do think we should all kind of be heading that direction when it comes to business. Not just to keep more money in our pocket, because you never know how talented and skilled. Like, every new skill you learn, you may not be the best at that particular skill when you first start. Like, no matter what the skill is, you're going to need experience. You're going to need time to grow into that skill, to make you one of the best. The same thing applies to authoring and writing and, becoming a experienced editor. See, I had to put time in. That's okay. So, boom. We talked about the different essay structures that exist out here. The sentence structures I'm about to cover is some more help. Like I said, if you're trying to put together a manuscript of some sort for a book or for a film or for, a stage play. These are things that are going to be useful when it comes to structuring your sentences, so you don't have to pay somebody else to go edit or to go proofread and revise for you. There's nothing wrong with that. That's why I offer the service to do it for you. Okay? Yeah. Boom. At my website, you're most definitely going to be able to book consultations or call us directly between our business hours between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Mountain Time, because we do edit, revise, proofreading, things like this for authors or for different type of people in business. So don't worry, guys. I'm just saying, if you do in the near future want to become more independent, I just feel like not having the money to pay an editor should never be a reason why you don't publish your book in 2022, okay? So you have Crown Publishing Content on your team, on your side, always on standby, waiting on your call or waiting for you to book a consultation to learn more about your vision when it comes to your book or your film script or your stage script or your YouTube or social media platform where you need a writer for your content. We're always on standby anyway, but yeah, just as a writer, I think these are going to be, useful tips. So back to sentence structure really quick. That independent clause, what did I use for an example? I ate a cookie. An independent clause is simply a group of words that includes a subject and a predicate. I is the subject, ate a cookie. Let's move on to number 2. That's going to be called like an independent clause type of sentence structure, okay? A compound sentence. It's going to include, here's another formula. Let's put it like this. I wish I had my whiteboard today. This would have been perfect for this type of segment, but don't worry, guys. It's cool. I'll start bringing that whiteboard back. Independent clause. This is the formula for a compound sentence, or compound sentence number 1 example I'm about to give. Independent clause plus, get your pens and papers, coordinating conjunction plus independent clause. Let me give you an example, because that's a lot of information. I ate a cookie, comma, but it didn't sit well with my stomach. That independent clause again was I ate a cookie. Y'all see how I ended up adding a comma after it? Because now the coordinating conjunction is coming. But it didn't sit well with another independent clause. This probably wasn't the best example, but it didn't sit well with my stomach. So boom, you got a compound sentence because I had to put a comma in there. I started off talking about one subject with the independent clause, I ate a cookie, but it didn't sit well with my stomach. let's talk about compound sentence structure example number 2. And the formula is this: independent clause plus semicolon plus independent clause. I ate a cookie, semicolon, almond milk makes it digest better. So learning where to use commas, semicolons, which I'm about to talk about in a minute when it comes to punctuation, because when I'm coaching writers, I'm not saying that punctuation is not important. Do use punctuation as you're writing that rough draft, because it's just kind of setting your pace. As you're writing, you know where to put a sentence. You think you know where to put a comma. You think you know where to put quotation marks. But our main goal when we're coaching our writers at Crown Publishing Content is to see you actually get that story out, because that's step number 1. Let us look at editing, line editing, formatting later. Get your story idea together. And before you even start writing that manuscript, that stage play, that film, let's talk about your outline. This is what a publication services consultation would look like with me, because people book them for different reasons. Maybe they don't need an editor. They contact me for many different reasons, because we offer a variety of publication services, for authors. But sometimes people contact me. I was trying to get to this point just for writing coaching in general. Maybe this is their first book, or maybe they're writing the type of book in a certain style, or coming from a certain place that they've never written before. So they contact me for these reasons too. Once again, I'll have 2 separate type of links in the comment section today. Number 1 is going to be for the reading challenge for K through 12 students for you to register. Number 2 link will be my so I'm probably about to have 3. I'm sorry, y'all. 4 links. All right, just keep up with me. Number 2 will be the booking link for publication services of any sort. When you click on this particular link, crowncontentpublications.setmore.com, it's already going to pull up all the services I offer. You're just going to book, from according to the list that I offer on that booking page, and then we're going to talk about whatever work you might need with that book, that script, or that content you're looking for to help you with something else. Even if it's a business meeting, guys, we're called Crown Publishing Content for a reason. If it has to do with content, you can book a consultation and we can talk. Everybody's first one is absolutely free, just to see if our services are going to be a good fit for you and your business needs, okay? Link number 3 is going to be my website, because some of you may be new to my channel and you just want to learn more about my mission to service authors and freelancers in 2022. Link number 4 will be a link for you to reserve a slot for a promotional interview about your business, or book on the Crown Content Publications podcast show, okay? Yay! So boom, I just wanted to kind of put that out there. Compound sentence number 2 that I was on though, independent clause plus semicolon plus independent clause. I don't think I really even did this one right here 100% correct, but as an example, I said I ate a cookie, semicolon, almond milk makes them digest better. And this is why I say I don't feel like I did this one 100% correct, because the proper formula says compound sentence plus independent clause plus semicolon. Plus semicolon plus another independent clause. So boom, I probably should have I pretty much should have had another independent clause after my statement, almond milk makes it digest better, okay? But what I said is, when people book consultations with me and talk about something like editing or writing, because they haven't even started writing the story, or they might need help writing the story, I do personally coach writers to, when it comes to punctuation in your rough draft, don't be so, because it could end up wasting the whole time, because you end up like, oh my God, I don't know what to do right here. Do your booking steps, you know what I'm saying? Write it first, and then you can go back through that revision or editing or proofreading phase anyway, which you're going to need if you're talking about professionally publishing that book, okay? Number 4, let's talk about a compound sentence. Yeah, I was just trying to say, like, don't Don't spend so much time on punctuation. Use that punctuation during your rough draft to pace you. Sentence, boom, exclamation mark, boom, boom. Because you never know what's all going to change through the revision process anyway, through the editing process anyway. You don't know what's all going to change, where you put a sentence fragment, where you carried on a sentence where you didn't need to, where you were using repetition where you don't need to. You don't know what's going to change. So do use punctuation in your, well, for the writers I'm coaching, or if that's going to take my advice, and I am an experienced writer. I'm even a college student right now. We have to write many papers, guys. So it's like, look at punctuation later. Don't waste so much time, like, because to me, your actual content is what we need to get produced, so we can see what we need to edit, so we can see where we need to add the proper punctuation. Okay, but every publisher is different, so every publisher's advice might be different. So boom. Number 4, compound sentence. This formula is going to look like independent clause plus adverbial conjunction plus independent clause. I ate a cookie, comma, fortunately, semicolon, it hadn't expired yet. I think I did great with that one. That's a great example, or whatever. Y'all see how I'm trying to use the same sentence, the same independent basic sentence I use to explain the independent clause sentence structure on number 1. It started as I ate a cookie. But in all of these other examples, I'm still using I ate a cookie, but how it breaks down when you change the sentence structure. Okay, and this is what I was talking about with writing formulas. So boom, that was called a compound sentence. And let me read it again. I ate a cookie, comma, fortunately, semicolon, it hadn't expired yet, period. Okay, independent clause plus adverbial conjunction plus independent clause. Boom, we're moving forward. Let's talk about complex. That was a compound sentence. Let's talk about complex sentences and what they're going to look like. I said I was only going to name 6 sentence structures today, because I'll be on here all day on this one segment talking about this. But we definitely have more segments like these coming, because we want writers and authors to win here at the Crown Publishing Content family. Why? Because we hope to possibly be your publisher in the near future. And if not that you might refer, a friend, a buddy, or somebody else with a dream to write or become an author, no matter how young or old. We would hope that you refer them to our website, to our business, for services, okay? Or just for tips right here on the YouTube channel. Please share this video with somebody if you think it might be useful. A writer, somebody in the content creating or content producing business that could use our services, our writing services, our formatting, editing services, our revision services. We do leave reviews and things like this too, guys. We do narration as well. So share this where you feel necessary. And then if you're new to this video, please like and subscribe, okay? So that I know. And then just the 32 subscribers we have now, starting at 0 in February. Thank you, guys. That is letting me know this is needed content, okay? Complex sentence. Dependent marker plus independent clause. Let me give an example. Dependent marker plus independent clause. This is what a complex sentence is going to look like. Since, comma, I craved some sugar, semicolon. Fortunately, there was one pack left in the cupboard. It might sound like a run-on sentence, but let y'all hear this again. Since, comma, because we talked about a dependent marker. Those are going to be like words. I don't want to say then or from, but I'm going to challenge y'all to go do some homework really quick. Go look up what a dependent marker is. It's just because I got to get through this segment. Since, but that's giving you a clue. Since, comma, I crave some sugar, semicolon. Fortunately, there was one pack left in the cupboard. So I pretty much made a point. Then we broke the sentence up. It's still a basic sentence, but this is going to be considered a complex sentence. And the formula is dependent marker plus independent clause. As an editor, this is the type of stuff we're looking at. If anybody ever wondered how that looks when it comes to editing sentence after sentence after sentence after sentence, it's not just reading your paragraph. Just reading through your work is cool too, proofreading it. But when you get to the level of revision and editing, we're looking at your sentence structures. Okay? We're looking at that because a lot of times you guys have great story topics, outlines, or you try to tell a publishing services coordinator like myself, like, this is the goal, this is the main message, this is how I'm trying to portray this message, whether it's a biography, a documentary, which I am about to do another segment on the difference between a biography and a documentary when we're writing them, okay, for the writers. But this is what editing and an editor's job is not easy. But sometimes your point, like your storyline, your idea, everything is on point. Like, we get that part. But, the way, not even the wording, guys, you notice I didn't use the wording that you're using can be throwing the story off. Your sentence structures. And multiple sentence structures are going to make up just one paragraph. So yeah, if one chapter is going to have 16, 17 paragraphs, we're doing some serious sentence structuring policing, if I can call it that, okay? Let's talk about complex sentence formula number 2 I want to name here. Relative pronoun plus clause. Relative pronoun plus clause. What is a relative pronoun? Who, whom, which, and sometimes that. Let me give an example, because in my complex sentence here, for this example, I use the word though. Though my blood sugar affects my mood, comma, I decided to have a cookie after lunch. It seems so basic, don't it, y'all? It seemed like, who needs to go over this? Some of this, though, as writers, some of this stuff we did learn in 5th, 6th grade, language arts or whatever, right? Like, that's just a fact. But I think we get so overwhelmed with trying to produce the perfect story or the perfect content that, we forget to take time out. Because, like I say, me as a writing coach, I definitely would advise a whole outline and plan for that book before you even get started. Because what happens, you have a lot of editors and authors that literally end up arguing because they don't understand where the editor is coming from. They feel like the editor just doesn't understand how they were trying to produce their story, like what they wanted their story to sound like, what they wanted their story to look like. It's not that. Your editor's job, though, is to give you the most professional and concise point of view about your story, broken down sentence by sentence, broken down punctuation by punctuation, broken down paragraph by paragraph, and then chapter to chapter, because you may have a chapter at chapter 4 that really belongs at chapter 12. Y'all see how much work I'm talking about? You may have something at chapter 12 that y'all find out later on along in the editing journey that really could fit better at the very beginning of that story, right? Nobody's trying to change your story. Nobody's trying to tell you how to do it. And see, these type of altercations, or they're not like, I hate to use the word altercations, but misunderstandings, believe it or not, guys, have led people to the self-publishing route because they simply don't want anybody telling them how to do their story. Like, they understand the revision and editing process part, but they don't want, which is nothing wrong with, right? I told y'all I support self-published authors. That's why with Crown Publishing Content, we allow you guys to tell us what services you need. We're not even looking for rights or ownership. None of that to your books, okay? Hopefully you already got it. You got it copyrighted, especially if you've already written it. That makes it even easier for us right? Like, it makes it more believable to the authors, the self-published authors. They come and talk to us that we're not looking for right to ownership to your work. You're actually letting me know what services you need. You may end up feeling like, yeah, I want you to be my writing coach. Not literary agent, your writing coach, your publishing services coordinator, somebody that's helping you through the journey of self-publishing. When we get to, you're like, hey, I got everything else done. I've already paid the editor. I got my story together. Can you proofread? Can you help me find a printer? Can you help me find a distributor? For my books, can you help me get my books in XYZ bookstores? That's what these publication services consultations with me look like, guys. That's what hiring me as a writing coach for your book can look like, okay? Now, I don't know how much you guys have researched the work of literary agents, but they all work different. And as a publishing services coordinator, I work different, okay? So this could look like you not owing me anything unless you're satisfied with my work, with my publication services work, or with my team's work for your manuscript. That goes for stage plays. That goes for film scripts. That goes for, lyrics, for music. It doesn't matter. Whatever service you come to me for, we either offer it or we don't offer it, number one. Number two, we don't get paid unless you're satisfied with the work. So how do we really lose? That's why we do these consultations. You're going to know if we're a good fit before you pay a cent or a dime. And then what makes it even better, we're not looking for rights or ownership to your work at all. Even after we provide that service to you, okay? So we add contracts where necessary. We just, even those guys that come to us without copyright license yet for their work, we're the coaches leading them to that direction because everybody is on a different stage and level when it comes to their careers as writers, okay? Because on other segments, guys, I think I've already kind of went over this with y'all. There are so many different type of writers in the world. It's not even funny. Like, oh my goodness. And there are companies hiring them right now. And there are people making very lucrative incomes. I'm just Miss Whitney. I'm Arthur. Publisher, podcast show host, publication services coordinator, Arthur. Tetta Sherry Whitney, who wanted to start her own thing, right? But it's not like, positions and offers don't come up, for writing positions for myself, right? I like what I do for my own business. So, boom, I've gotten coaching where I need to on the side. I graduate in December, guys. I'll tell y'all more about my grad. I should do a whole segment just on my. If you guys want to check out a little bit of what my college journey has been like while running a publishing services coordination business and being an author all at the same time and poet, go check out my video titled Why I Remained a Business Student During a Pandemic or Recession, period, okay? As a millennial. It'll give you a little insight of what my journey has been like for those of you new to my channel. And then, like I just said, I think I'll do like an updated one on what being in school has been like for me. And this is online from home. And why Crown Publishing Content Foundation wants to begin to help low-income families with connecting them with the resources, tools, equipment even, when it comes to Wi-Fi or digital devices, to where they can study from home. And that's going to be from K through 12 level or adult. So, man, we're doing some things, guys. Trust me, you definitely want to keep up with this channel. Okay, that's the only way you're going to learn how you can subscribe for newsletters to see what we're updating next. That's the only way you're going to learn about new book publications from myself. That's the only way you're going to learn about authors we're promoting on our podcast show. We need you to subscribe to the channel. It was a big part and reason of me starting this channel, okay? So just a few other tips before I get off of here, guys. As for writers, I just want to encourage you guys, don't ever fear to take your reader's imagination on a tour of your writing language, of your mind, of your heart, on a tour of who you are as a writer. It's kind of like a whole nother personality, right? This is why people have journals, they have diaries, and they write to themselves. This is another side of themselves that they are displaying, that they are, what's the word, y'all? That they are releasing, right? Whether they show their diary to anybody or not. Tip number 1, what did I say? Never be afraid to take your readers' imaginations on a tour of your writing language. It's kind of like people being afraid to sing in front of people. It's the same thing for writers. Like my little first early works, guys, I don't even, like, I laugh too sometimes because I have to go back and look at that work one day and say, man, I grew as a writer. I grew when it came to how much time I was willing to invest in a book, because like I just said, some of the books that I have coming in the near future, it's just going to be funny, even to reviewers and critics. Like, man, she really grew as a writer. Not that what I had out there was awfully bad to begin with. I just choose to take my novel writing experience a little more serious, and it should show. But it did take overcoming the fear of what people would think when it came to my writing language. How I'm communicating right now is my communication skills as a human, right? And verbally speaking. But my language as a writer is going to look much different. Some people's do, some people don't. Some people, because of the way they talk, you know who wrote it. I'm just saying, I choose to be that type of writer where I'll have a separate writing language. And hopefully for each different story, because I'll have to, because every story won't be the same, but you know, a language that when my readers see, oh, it says Arthur Tedasheri on the front of this book, they kind of know and can get to a point where they feel my language through each book. I hope that makes sense. So don't be scared to use your voice and tone. If you want to go check out a recent segment I've done in the not too long ago called Voice versus Tone when writing a book and in business. How voice and tone are different, but they're both very, very significant in business and as a writer, okay? That you can find that video on my channel somewhere. It shouldn't be too far down. Punctuation. What did I tell y'all already? Don't get so caught up on not knowing where this punctuation go, that punctuation go, that you end up with whole brain fart, writer's block, because you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do the dialogue right here. Boom, boom, boom. Leave that to the editors. Leave that to the revisionists that you're going to hopefully be working with if you're trying to publish this book on a professional level. Look at that later. Writing is going to be the first step, getting that content out. So that's just my advice or tip on that for writers today. Avoid repetitive pronouns. Remember what tense you're writing in, if that makes sense. Past, present, future. Because sometimes you can get so overwhelmed writing, y'all. This is why, like I said, as a writing coach, I do advise that you have an outline prepared and drawn up. Kind of like the blueprint. Architects use blueprints. Kind of like the blueprint to your book. And this is every time you write a book, okay? Remember, like, you might in the beginning of the book talk in a, this isn't even about first, second person, but it does kind of tie in, because each one, you know, and when you get to looking at that as a writer, you'll understand. You might say, no, second person is better right here, since I'm writing in a past tense, you know, area for this particular character or for these particular characters, right? That stuff matters, and I very highly encourage you guys to always have your story outlined together. There's nothing wrong with putting a story outline together. I don't know if any of y'all have ever worked like this as authors. Go ahead and get that story outline together and send the outline itself. This is not even your what's the word? Your rough draft yet. This is not even your content yet. Get an editor to look over your outline who can give you advice and strategies about how you possibly could go into writing that story. Like, you may have beginning, climax, plot twist, boom, 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 boom. It just helps you. Like, you go into writing that story much more confident. Fiction, non-fiction, it doesn't matter. Article, blog, it doesn't matter. Have an outline together so you know exactly what you're doing when you do get to the level of preparing the content, okay? And what's going on with my ponytail up here? Remember, pretty much, yeah, my main point of saying that with being careful with past, present, and future in your content when you're writing a book is to practically make your timeline changes as concise for readers as possible. Okay, one of the worst things you can do is get to talking about something right here in 1930s, and then you don't skip to modern day time, and nobody knows what happened because you didn't use any type of great transitioning phrases or formulas to switch the time frame to let the readers know that now you're talking about another setting, or now you're talking about another time frame. You definitely want to remember that type of stuff. So outline is what I'm preaching. What they used to call it in school, I'm saying story outline, but they used to call it, not the rough draft, y'all. It was something they used to call it. It'll come to me in a minute. But this is pretty much like a whole diagram, like a preparation breakdown before you even write that story, okay? Remember, distinctive words are intended to display a certain effect. So, though I did mention in the beginning that you might have your own language as an author, now, this is excluded from people whose language is just big distinctive words in general. I guess what I'm about to say is not for you. But sometimes, depending on the story or what you are trying to display to readers, viewers, or listeners, if it's an audiobook, it doesn't always require distinctive words. You want to use those in powerful places, like I said, display a certain effect or to trigger a certain emotion in the reader when they get to a certain part of the book. So just saving those distinctive words for the right time is a great tip for writers, I feel like, when it comes to films and books and stuff like that. Okay. Your paragraphs, right? Don't think that your paragraphs all have to be the same, like, block size. Paragraphs can always vary, and that's all the way through your novel. So I just thought that was a great tip. Remember to reveal characters and who they are through scenes, details, and the dialogue. You can always slip in something about one of the characters to the readers just through something another character said to them, just through something another character was discussing about the person to another character at another time frame in the book or in another scene. Okay, that's gonna be especially important for drama stories, suspense. You want to generate suspense properly. Okay, that's like a whole different. I'm sorry, y'all. I skipped from talking about characters to generating suspense properly when it's a drama story or a thriller, okay, or something like a horror suspense. Okay, you want to learn. If you know it's going to be that type of story, it doesn't hurt you to go research or contact a writing coach like myself and team of freelancers who can properly guide you through the outline stage before you even get into the content of generating suspense properly in your story. Repetition should be planned. That's another thing that should be planned in your outline. You're only going to use repetitious effects if it's going to be 100% purposeful to what you're writing about. You don't just want to be the type of writer that's just repeating. That's where it is uncalled for. But if you are using repetitious effects with your language, in your dialogue, in your book for a specific purpose, that can be useful and it could be a good tool. My advice is plan it. See if that repetition and what you're talking about is even necessary, okay? Or if it's going to bring the proper effect that you are looking for. Last advice on my list, and I did not know this segment would be an hour long, but thank you guys for tuning in to the Crown Content Publications YouTube channel. I'm almost done. This is the last tip when it comes to tips for writers I have for today. In writing, my little writing tutoring segment I'm having right here. Learn wisely for criticism. My advice is that I'm going to just go straight forward into it. if you're not the person if you're not built to be able to receive criticism, whether it's negative or positive, and I'm saying as a writer now, as a writer who is serious about actually publishing their work to the public on any platform whatsoever, if you are sensitive to criticism, now is the time to think about whether writing is going to be the right career for you or not. Even if you're a blogger, right? Like, you never know what people are going to comment under your blog post. You never know what people are going to feel about how you put together an article, right? And they never know what stage or level of writing you're on, right? But a lot of people don't understand that writers have to grow, right? They're not just going to support you because you're a beginning writer. Like, people are always looking at the actual content when you're a writer. So, I'm warning you, if you cannot handle criticism, writing may not be for you. But all I was trying to explain is that it might not be for you. Learn early in your career as a writer, especially if you're an author, film writer, playwright, and stuff like that. Y'all see where Tyler Perry started, right? But at some point, he had to even go through phases of criticism because people are not always going to agree with your content choice, your plot twist, your storyline, okay? But yeah, on major book platforms, people are allowed to leave reviews. We're in the year 2022. Google itself, pretty much everything on there, with an ad that's being advertised, articles, podcasts, they allow the general public to leave reviews on it. So that's going to include your book too. And if you can't learn to just learn early that it comes with the work, and that's not even every profession, right? You go to a 9-to-5 job, you still might be criticized by your buddies. That's how I choose to look at it, right? So, like, it's a little easier for me to see it, and I even wanted to become a writing coach because I felt like I could be able to help people through that type of stuff, because you have really talented people out here giving up on their dreams because they cannot, guys, handle criticism. And then criticism has levels, guys. Like, even though you choose to react to criticism another way, when it comes to your work, they're going to criticize that. Like, well, she had no comment. I had no comment. Well, she didn't use the right phrase. She should have had that character hook up with him. She needs to grow more. I didn't really think that story was all of that. And she's steady sharing it. She studied marketing it. Be prepared for that type of criticism, negative and positive. My true advice. What did I write down here? Learn wisely. Learn how to wisely use criticism, because not all criticism is negative, guys. Sometimes people are trying to help you. Now, I'm a more sensitive person too, so trust me, when it comes to criticism, I feel like I'm on master level, and people love to criticize me. People are like this in life, and I'm saying on a personal level, so I know it's going to come with my book work, with my author work, with my work in general. But people are going to criticize you to see. I was telling a young lady earlier today that was actually going through something. It wasn't a big deal, but just pointing it out to her, like, yeah, people comment weird things under your work, and it did happen to be her work. They do that because they're trying to see whether they know they're doing it because of their reason or not. They're just trying to see where you are here. Like, with being an entrepreneur, number one, criticism is coming. So if you're a writer, you're an entrepreneur. In other words, critics know that they're critics. They know where they are as a critic. They want to see where you are as whatever you're calling yourself as, right? Everybody knows that an independent journey comes with some releasing of things, come with some being able to stand on your own 10 toes, being able to sacrifice, being able to want something more than you've ever wanted it, right? Like, critics know this. But that's why I say you're going to have positive and negative critics. Learn to wisely use them. Wisely, y'all will understand later down the line and say, man, I'm glad I met that young lady, or that I did find her YouTube channel and catch on to what she was saying, because wisely is like an understatement. you can end up using. There are celebrities today, guys, that use criticism, and they've learned how to actually monetize it. You just commenting on a post or a thread that had to do with their life or business pays them. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm already on a level. I'm already trying to get to a level where, okay, I can accept criticism, especially if it's gonna pay me. Pay me to mock me, okay. Pay me just for your opinion, your fact, your thought. Every time you click on my website just to see what I'm doing, I'm getting paid, because websites can be monetized, but this is not that type of segment. Y'all will want to subscribe to this channel though, because we talk about this stuff. It's called pay-per-click. Every website servicer doesn't offer that, but there are some that do. Yes, guys. When I found out about things like, I don't know, like, that's why I say this segment was for writers. Because there are so many different ways. This is not the business side. This is more tips. But that's what those consultations are about. How can I pay myself as a self-published author? How can I continue to pay myself even if I have no book sales for the whole month? What is something else I'm doing to contribute to my work as an author in my life, including the critics? Are they leaving reviews? Are they commenting on my channel? Are they commenting on my social media page? And when they do, am I getting paid? Is that bringing more publicity because, you know, they feel some type of way about my work? Is that happening? Okay? Because these people on the level they already on, the successful ones, they know that criticism can pay you. So boom. Thank you guys for clicking on my video to see what it was I had to say today. I feel like this is an informative. You know, when it came to sentence structure, if you need to play it back, write some stuff down, feel free to do that. Sentence structures and tips for writers, and just what the Crown Publishing Content is offering to the public when it comes to our publication services, promotion on the podcast show for small businesses and authors who are looking to get more exposure for their book or business, okay? That link, I already went over this, how y'all are going to find the links to either book a podcast show or publication services consultation with me pertaining to your writing or your work. All of that is going to be in the comments section. Thank you for tuning in to another segment with the Crown Content Publication Services family YouTube channel where publishing and marketing meet. And until next time.